So let's see what Fed said in December FOMC meeting before we make expectation what Fed will be doing in 2025 under Trump's second term. First of all, they did cut and they are doing QT. As an expectation, market will be watching what Fed say about QT monetary policy when they will end QT. My expectation are in March 2025 they may announce end of QT. Second, market clearly expecting rate pause and there is small chance market is pricing a small possibility of hike in future. So we must be watching carefully what Fed said about future interest rate effect on economy. They do cut or they pause as market expected. You can see they are using 2019 to compare economy condition because base year was 2008, but after that 2019 is next base year. And long term inflation expectation, since their December FOMC meeting, inflation expectations are constantly rising, and I think Fed panic more for rising inflation expectation. So since December FOMC meeting, big change in inflation expectation. Let's see Fed panic or not and how their tone change. You can see they are using this line almost all the time last year that reducing policy rate too slow or too little, the recipe for stagflation. And officially many times last year they have clearly ignored stagflation risk. We are not on any preset course, but let's see after election, after Trump's second term, if Fed shift hawkish, big bay, then already you are on preset path. So magical line from Fed, we at Fed will do everything we can to achieve maximum employment, that's mean NFP, price stability goal, that's mean CPI. Your stagflation since September 2022 FOMC meeting, they made sure neither NFP collapsing nor CPI exploding above 3%. That was stagflation. So both were maintained a sideways range. So CPI is range bound between 2 and 3%. There was that question from Fed, why official think it is appropriate to cut rate at all in 2025? Because market is pricing for rate pause. On their each rate cut, market is fighting and behaving like hike. So that's why they are asking why they even cutting interest rate in 2025. Or possible rate pause next month likely. Wall Street Journal Nick Tamirao's right now there is no leak from FOMC, but if they pause in first FOMC meeting of this year, then clearly that was a big change because you are doing big size 50 basis point cut for Biden, but for Trump you are doing rate pause. You can see how many times they are saying this line, we don't think we need further cooling in labor market to get inflation down to 2%. There is direct link between NFP and CPI. More job decrease in economy, more inflation decrease. When job increase, by default, inflation also increase. So inverse Fed. So until NFP collapse, inflation may not fall below 2%. So that was hawkish FOMC meeting. You can see uncertainty around inflation we see as higher. Expectation that inflation will be higher. That is FOMC tone after election. Another important thing, if you remember, when they were doing rate hike, when rate reached 2.5%, immediately the tone changed that we are on neutral. Same thing they are saying right now, that we are significantly closer to neutral rate. Number is not clear. Who knows, can be 3.6%. But in this FOMC speech, they are saying repeatedly that we are closer to neutral rate, and again they are talking about neutral rate. So we don't know how many cut before they officially say that we are at neutral rate. But once they say neutral rate, immediately rate cut tone will become super hawkish for short term. So first week of Trump was all about expectation of fiscal policy. In first week, there was no big policy stimulus from Trump to grow economy, and they are saying we are back to 2016. So we will see upcoming time Trump administration will do fiscal stimulus or not. You can see that question, how much of it expecting that there will be inflationary fiscal policy next year. That is big political game, because 2022 when Biden was doing Inflation Reduction Act, CHIP Act, those were fiscal policy, and they are now creating inflation. It is sideways near 3%, but nobody asked that time. But before beginning of Trump term, they are asking inflationary fiscal policy next year. That means Trump will do any fiscal policy. If yes, then how Fed will respond. You can see economy grow faster in second half of 2024. In August Jackson Hole speech, market was pricing 75 basis point emergency cut. They were watching, doing nothing. Ultimately, they did 50 basis point cut in September. And now they are saying second half of 2024 economy grow faster. You make sure that market price big rate cut, and you do big rate cut just before election, and now saying economy grow faster in 2024. Imagine if Fed have shifted hawkish when they were pricing 75 emergency cut last year August month, and instead of 50 they have only paused interest rate until election day. Then there was not possible that economy grow faster second half of 2024. So there were clearly monetary policy stimulus from Fed. Again they are saying we are closer to neutral rate. So you can see upside risk to inflation jumped, and there is big change on election day. Let's see what happened next. But Fed is ignoring. You can see they are saying we have been moving sideways on 12-month inflation. CPI is sideways, PPI clearly rising, but overall we have inflation after making bottom in upside direction. This is from Fed. Officially you can say directly and clearly Fed is saying September 2018 Teal book. He has said he brought them here with me today. Now your choice, read or not, but Fed have given you homework to read something about Trump tariff and that trade war. Because we are same to same 2018, same Trump and Powell, same tariff drama. So Fed is giving hint, he is using September 2018 model. You can see Nick Tamira's question that are they ready to hold interest rate for a while? Could we last cut for some time? So let's see if Fed pause or not rate cut in this FOMC meeting. Because what market think, if they pause officially this week, then question will be how many pause before next cut. That will be big question, and This thing depends on CPI and NAP number. You can see since their first cut, dollar and 10-year bond yield both are flying, and they are saying, are you running a risk that market are fighting against you? Clearly market was fighting on their each rate cut. So if they pause, maybe market stop fighting, because that would be confirmation. Now Fed is going in right direction. Long rate have actually gone up quite a bit since September. Since their first cut, dollar and yield both made bottom and constantly flying. So there is a big fight between market and Fed until Fed fix the mistake of premature rate cut and rising inflation. Market will not stop. You can see how many times they are talking about neutral rate. We are significantly closer to neutral rate. We think we are is meaningfully restrictive. In this FOMC meeting, if they give number to neutral rate, that will be big shocking change. So now talk about financial condition. Looseness in financial condition. So if Bitcoin trading at all-time high, gold trading at all-time high, S&P 500, these three things, if trading at all-time high, then for sure there is a loose final condition. But Fed constantly ignoring final condition index since their February 2023 FOMC meeting. People are going mad about Bitcoin reserve. There was that question from Fed about US government holding a Bitcoin reserve. Clear smile from Biden celebrating 2-year anniversary. Now Fed is saying there was deep recession risk, panic, but nothing happened. That has not been the case because there were two policies, fiscal from Biden and monetary from Fed, to fight the recession, and recession turned into economic boom. The reason S&P 500 trading at all-time high. But question is, this policy, this thing will continue in second term or not? Because there was that incentive for Biden. There was 2 years for election. Now there is 4-year election cycle reset. You can watch this FOMC meeting in December. They have said crystal clear, we don't know exactly where is neutral rate. If they give number in this FOMC meeting, that compared to last FOMC meeting, that will be big shocking change. We don't know exactly where is neutral rate. So Fed is talking about Middle East and Ukraine war, and last week we get peace talk on both Ukraine war and Israel war. Market is pricing for rate pause clearly, and there was a small market pricing for hike. But Fed have said, can you rule out rate hike next year? Does not appear to be likely outcome. Because if they cut again in this FOMC meeting, market will start pricing for hike. If they pause, then possibility of rate hike will immediately decrease, and question will be how long will be rate pause? Because a rate pause from Fed can fix the premature rate cut mistake. And from stagflation, where we go? Into economic boom or a recession?